Hi, this is Sunny, and in this video, I'm going to explain the different types of objects that is present in Python. So let's understand this concept with different examples. So basically, there are two types of objects present in Python. First one is mutable objects, and the second one is immutable objects. So, immutable objects means basically we cannot, if we create an object and we cannot change after creation, then it is called a immutable objects. So, let's look for an example. So, here I'm going to assign x equal to a, x equal to 1. So here 1 is an object of integer type and x is the pointer. Then we are changing the value of x into 2. So basically, let's look at here what is happening actually. So let's print id of x. Then we are going to print again the id of x. So if we run this program, we can see that for the x equal to 1 part, the id is 608, and when we changed x equal to 2, then the id is also changed. That is uh, that is basically means here 1 is stored in the memory id of 608 and 2 is stored in the memory id of 640, which means these two objects are not present in the same memory, which and it is stored in different memory address. So that means here we didn't change the value or the object. Here we didn't change object itself, but we created a new integer type object, and we assigned the x into that object address. So this is what happens in immutable objects. That is basically it is there is no changing of objects, and we cannot change the objects, we can only create and delete the objects. So let's look at the example of a list. Now we are going to see an example for the immutable objects. So I'm going to create a array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know there are mutable objects and immutable objects. Mutable objects are mutable. So here is the example of mutable objects. These are list dictionary set and user defined objects are mutable objects. And for immutable objects, example are int, float, string, bool, etc. So now we are going to see how the process happening in the mutable objects side. So here I created a array of 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to print id of array. Then I'm going to change array of 0 to 1, not 1, 6. Now again I print the id of array. Before that we will print array itself. Okay, here we can see first we have the array that is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and the id of array is 5 not 4 at the end, and we have changed our array because the list is a mutable list, so we have changed a of 0 into 6. But we found that the id, the object id or the address id doesn't change here, but in the case of immutable objects we have seen that our object id or the memory id is changed. So this is what is happening behind the immutable objects and immutable objects. So, concluding this topic, we can say that in immutable objects we can change the values, and thereby there is no changing in object address ID. But in immutable objects, we cannot change object. We can only delete and create the objects. Hence, there will be uh, creation of, or the objects, new objects are stored in some another memory space or some other memory ids. So this is what I wanted to say, or to convey the concepts. So thank you.